Our experience of Bosnian hospitality and warmth started even before we touched down in Sarajevo. Our seatmate on the flight, a Sarajevo native, gave us tips on where to go and what to eat, and even offered us a ride from the airport, which we didn't take. Our plan was to spend a couple of days in Sarajevo, then, on day 3, rent a car to start driving outside of the capital. Arrival procedures at the airport were smooth and quick, and before we knew it, we were outside looking for a taxi, which is probably one of my least favorite parts of any trip, particularly because taxis from airports in many places around the world are more expensive, and some will overcharge tourists. I am sure many people can relate to that. This wasn't the case here, however, since there is a standard fare from the airport to the city, still more expensive than if you take the taxi from the city, but at least we didn't feel like we were ripped off. It took about 20 minutes to get to our hotel in the old town, which we booked because it is within walking distance of everything in Baščaršija. Check-in was easy, and we went to our cozy room in the heart of Sarajevo. Here's what it looks like. At that point, we felt hungry after a long day of travel and went out looking for something to eat. But since it was already after 11 p.m., the only place we found was a 24-hour bakery that served to satisfy our hunger. After a good night's sleep, which was helped by jet lag, we had a buffet breakfast at the hotel. It was a hearty meal and included everything you would expect in a good breakfast. Our first task of the day was to buy a SIM card for internet, as well as exchange some euros to local marks. We had looked up a mobile store in the old town and had it saved on our navsat, so you would think that it's a no-brainer to find it. Well, not so fast. It turns out that our brains were still not tuned into the format of the old town because we walked by the shop multiple times while searching for it and didn't see it until someone pointed it out to us. We ended up buying 2 10-gigabyte cards for 10 marks each and valid for 10 days, exact length of our trip. After exchanging euros to marks, we were ready to start exploring. The weather wasn't great and was a bit cold, but at least it wasn't raining. Our first stop, although coincidental while looking for the SIM card, was the Sebilj, an Ottoman-style wooden fountain. It is the last remaining kiosk fountain of its kind in a city that once had hundreds, serving as a historic source of water and is a landmark of the historic center of the city. A few minutes' walk from Sebilj was our next stop. The Gazi Husrev-beg Mosque, built in 1531, stands as a masterpiece of Ottoman architecture and remains the central mosque for the entire country. After leaving the mosque, we bought some tulumba as a snack. This delicious deep-fried dessert is a Turkish classic and can be found in most places with an Ottoman influence. Freshly energized from our sugar rush, we walked towards our next stop, the Sacred Heart Cathedral, a 19th century Gothic-style Catholic church. To get to the church, we walked across the Sarajevo Meeting of Cultures line, where the architecture abruptly changes from Ottoman to Austro-Hungarian style, and we felt like it was a different city. While we did not get to go into the church, we walked around and admired the classic Gothic architecture and got to see a glimpse of the city beyond the old town, which we will get to see later. One of the must-see destinations in Sarajevo is the Museum of Crimes Against Humanity, or Genocide Museum, which is a 1-minute walk from the church. This museum shows the worst of humanity through the atrocities that took place in this country in the mid-1990s. Walking through the rooms of this small but immensely powerful exhibit, reading the accounts, and watching the videos and photos made me extremely emotional, especially in the context of what's happening to Palestinians and Sudanese while world leaders are too cowardly or complicit to do anything about it. This is perhaps why there seems to be a strong sense of solidarity with Palestinians in Bosnia, because they have experienced similar horrors, and therefore we see the Palestinian flag everywhere. Our next destination was the Latin Bridge, less than 10 minutes walk away from our current location. This street corner at its intersection is famous for the 1914 assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand and his wife Sophie, an act that triggered the outbreak of World War I. The bridge itself is one of the oldest Ottoman-era bridges in the city, and the views of the Miljacka River and surrounding mountains and hills is worth walking around this area, although with the cloudy weather that day, we didn't see the hills very well. After walking around for a little while more, we realized two things. First is how small the Sarajevo Old Town is, since we managed to see most of our list on the first day. And second, we were feeling exhausted. A combination of jet lag and walking around in the cold for the day had drained our energy. So we decided we would find a place to have dinner, then go back to the hotel. Now, when it comes to food, we always want to try the local favorites, which, based on recommendations by our seatmate on the plane the night before, would be two dishes, cevapi and burek, which were definitely on our list. Tonight, however, we were too tired to seek these out and chose a buffet-style, family-run small restaurant where we could see our food and not have to wait. It was still local food, and the style allowed us to try multiple dishes in one meal. After dinner, we walked around the old town for a bit before heading back to the hotel for a good night's sleep. One of the best feelings is when you wake up in a new place and look outside to sunny skies, especially after the previous cold and gloomy day. And it was good timing because today our plan was to seek views of the city from the surrounding mountains. Specifically, take the cable car up to Mount Trebević, also known as Trebević Vidikovac. So after breakfast, we set off on foot towards the cable car. And our walk took us through the streets of Baščaršija, past the Sarajevo Town Hall, across the Miljacka River, and up the hill to the ticket office. We had heard that the cable car can get popular and busy in the afternoons, especially on weekends. So we went in the morning when it was much quieter, and could have had a cable car all to ourselves if we had wanted to. But instead, we chose to crash someone else's party. The views going up were spectacular, while our vista got higher and higher above the city. And being shutterbugs, we were glued to the window all the way up, while watching the landscape turn from urban to forest. The mountain did not disappoint. We walked along the paved pathways, viewed the Olympic rings, symbolizing the 1984 Winter Olympics, which were held there, and we enjoyed the awesome views of the city below. A few selfies later, we walked along the abandoned bobsled course, which was built for the Olympics but fell into disrepair and is now a graffiti artist gallery, and noticed that many people prefer to walk up the mountain instead of taking the cable car. This was easy as there seems to be a paved road that goes all the way up. After spending a couple of hours walking around, enjoying the views and visiting the coffee shop, we used the cable car to descend back to the city. We enjoyed the scenes around the square of the 1st Police Brigade, along the river, and across from City Hall with the large Sarajevo sign. The weather was still great, and since it was on our way, we decided to enter the Sarajevo Town Hall, which was one of the stops on our list. This place is an architectural masterpiece and has very interesting rooms showcasing the history and culture of Sarajevo from 600 years ago till today, and also had a United Nations tribunal room where tribunals were held for those charged with war crimes during the war. By the time we left the town hall, it was already late afternoon, and we had seen almost everything we planned to see in Sarajevo. So, with satisfaction and a craving for sugar, we sat in a cafe and had some amazing Bosnian desserts while watching the world go by. We also took this time to decide what to do next, and it was concluded that this would be a good time to do some souvenir shopping, since Sarajevo would probably be the best place to do so. So we did just that. Walked around the old town, bought some souvenirs, although contrary to popular belief, there wasn't much room for bargaining for a better price. But the prices were all reasonable, so we still felt good at the end of the day. With hunger firmly setting in, we went in search of the burek place we had identified earlier and had dinner there. It's simple. You order burek, a phyllo pastry meal stuffed with your choice of spinach, ground beef, or cheese. We had all three and shared them between us. It was a good meal and certainly satisfied our hunger. With that, we were done with the old town of Sarajevo for now, and tomorrow we would get our rental car and drive out of the city. If you like this video, then please hit the like button, leave a comment, or subscribe to see my other videos. Thanks for watching.